Hey everyone, Greta here. Today we are gonna talk about how to do your first ever supported headstand. Of course, it would be great if you have an actual teacher to assist you in the way. However, if you just want to see if you could try it or experiment it on your own, this is a quick tutorial to how to do it by yourself. And earlier on, I had done a kind of like a flow practice, getting your body warm up to get into the inversion. And I have already posted it somewhere down there in the class description, so you can check it out if you like. And then for this tutorial, I'll be sharing with you the warm-ups that I usually do before I actually get into the headstand. For today, we need a yoga mat and also the wall. If you don't have a wall, maybe close your bedroom door or something. Make sure that you have something solid and sturdy so you can step on. So before we actually get into the inversion, we will be doing some warm-ups. We will be doing neck warm-up, getting the neck nice and warm, getting it strong, and also shoulders, make it mobile and make it strong, of course. Lower abs. So I'll be showing you the ones that I feel are useful for me. So please add and subtract accordingly. So let's begin. So let's go ahead and do some neck rotations. And just feel how the neck is doing today. And do the other direction as well, just to loosen up the muscles in the neck shoulder area. And then strengthening the neck, palm pressing into the forehead, head pressing into the palm. Stay for about 5 breaths and doing 3 sets. And now the neck strengthening, placing the palms at the back of the head, and then the palms pressing into the head and the head pressing into the palms. Again, 5 breaths and 3 sets. Now let's do some shoulder rotations, fingers on the shoulders, rolling them back. You want to feel the upper back, the shoulder blades actually moving and not just the rotator cuffs. And don't forget to do the reverse, big movements, feeling the upper back moving. Now let's do the cow face, right hand on the back of the neck and then wrapping the left arm around. After a few breaths, you want to feel the right armpit hugging in, and then the elbow hugging in and pressing up to the sky. Rib cage pressing into the upper back and stay. So instead of having the top elbow pointing directly up to the sky, you want it to be pressing forward and then up, and allowing the armpit, the upper armpit, to hug in towards the chest instead of flaring out and away. Working on ab strength for stability, lie on your back, lower back and the upper back down to the floor, reaching the head and shoulders up and the arms forward. Breathe. Feel free to lift your feet off away from the floor. Just make sure that if you do that, the lower and the upper back presses firmly down to the floor, long arms, belly hugging in. And now we'll be doing the planks and the dolphins. And before we actually do them, let's check out the fingering. So we are doing a headstand fingers or headstand arm position for our forearm plank and dolphin. There are a few options to do it. So I'm just going to share with you the things that I know of. There's one where you lace all your fingers, including your pinky finger, and you just place the arms on the mat. Okay. And then there's another one where the fingers laced except for your pinky fingers, where you place one inside the other. And this is the one that I do, because for this one where you lace all the fingers, I don't like it simply because the outer edge of my last pinky finger feels too much pressure. So that's why I tend to have them hiding, one in front of the other, so that I can place both of my outer pinky fingers down, and so they feel more even. Another way to do it is basically just clasp all the fingers, including your palm. Okay, so that's one of it. Okay, so these are the arm positions or the finger positions. Of course, the elbows will be shoulder width apart. Okay, and then when we actually do the dolphin, you'll be placing the crown of the head down to the floor. For the crown of the head is usually the flattest part of your head, and there's a way to measure it. You can place the base of the palm in between your eyebrows, and wherever the middle finger lands, that's usually the spot. Okay, but that is only what the textbooks say. Okay, I would suggest you to place that part of the body on the floor first and just see if you feel stable. For me, actually, when I do the inversion, I would place a bit further, closer to the hairline than in the crown of the head. Okay, so when we do dolphin, we will be placing that part of the body down onto the floor as well. Okay, so let's check out the plank pose first. Setting up for forearm plank, elbows on the mat, stretch your legs out. Feeling the belly hugging in, elbows vertically pushing the floor away, and upper back is broad. Elbows also pressing towards your toes, and just stay here and breathe. Then shoulder blade dips, keeping your lower back neutral, upper back dipping and spreading. Shoulders remain as is. Getting ready for dolphin, so the arms are down, crown of the head on the floor, hands wrapping around the back of the head. Lift your hips, lift your knees, walk close. If you reach your max, bend your knees, belly and the thighs touching, hips above the shoulders, and stay. Shoulders away from the ears towards your hips. And try to lift your head and place it gently down to the floor. When you do this movement, just try to keep the shoulders not pushing too far forward and too big of a movement. Trying to minimize the movement in the shoulders. Okay, so warm-up is done. Let's check out how we do our first ever headstand. No, don't worry about it. We won't be going all the way upside down. Okay, not a full 180 straight line headstand. We will be walking our feet along the wall so that you still have a lot of support. The reason why we're doing this is because the first inversion ever headstand tends to be quite scary, especially when you don't have anyone beside you to spot you or to cheer on you. So the wall will be your best friend. What we need is we need to measure first. We need to be sitting right up against the wall, okay, and just extend your legs out. Okay. So notice where the middle of your shin bones are, okay, and that is where you would place your head there. Okay, so once we place our head in this area, we'll be walking up along the wall and the legs will be bent. And there's a reason for it is because when your legs are bent, it's easier to for you to feel or to adjust yourself. If you go with straight legs, if you place a head a bit too far away from where it should be, then the ankle will be a bit off. And also, if your hamstrings and the lower back are not ready yet, chances are you feel quite a bit of pressure there. So that is why we want to go up with bent knees. Okay, so once I have noted where the middle of my shin bones are, okay, I'll be placing my hands there. Okay, just note that the hands are shoulder width apart. The elbows are shoulder width apart. Okay, make sure they are directly under the shoulders and not a little bit further out and away, right underneath the shoulders. And then placing the crown of the head down to the floor. So just like dolphin, if your palms are open, you'll be cradling the back of the head with your palms. Okay, so it doesn't matter if your pinky fingers are stacked on top of one another or one inside the other. Note the third variation where you clasp your entire hands together, then the back of the head will be placed in between your wrists. Okay, so again, just see which is more stable, which feels more safer to you. Okay, so let me check again, right here. Okay. So head down. Once you're here, just check that the shoulders don't come into the ears, rather they stay closer towards the wall. Okay, feel the elbows pressing firmly down onto the mat. You want to feel as much space as there is in the shoulder area. Now belly hug in, lift your butt. Okay, again, once your butt is lifted, shoulders away from the ears towards the wall. Strong arms, broaden the upper back, belly hugging in. And then one foot, the toes and the the balls of your feet will be pressed into the wall. And then you do the other side as well. As you can see, my knees are bent. I'm just placing the balls of my feet and the toes on the wall. I push the wall away. At the same time, my elbows press firstly down into the floor and my shoulders into the wall. And just stay there and breathe. Neck stays long, shoulders remain broad, upper back is spread, belly hugging in, hips high, hips over shoulders, and you come back out. And take a little break in child pose. When you go up, don't forget to breathe. And don't get so nervous. It's very exciting to go upside down, but don't let your nerves get onto you, because if you get too nervous, chances are your shoulders will pull right into the ears, and then you feel a lot of pressure and weight in the neck area, which we do not want. If there's a ratio, I always say that no more than 30% of the weight is in the neck and head area. The rest entirely in the shoulders, in the arms. So you make sure that you know that the elbows and the upper arms are directly, vertically pushing the floor away, so that you can maximize the space in your shoulder area, so that the neck stays long and relaxed and light. One more note is when you come out of the inversion, try to just move the legs first, i.e. keep the rest of the body solid. You don't want to collapse and come down. It's the same thing. You don't want the weight to go all the way into the neck and head, and that would be just very uncomfortable. Go up there, stay 3 to 5 breaths, and then come back down 2 to 3 times if it feels good, and then eventually you can, lengthen that duration of the hold. And so that's it. Give it a try and let me know how it goes. If you'd like to practice with me, I actually teach online and in person. Just drop me a note and I'll get back to you ASAP. Regular classes on inversions, headstand is one of them, and also pincha and handstand. And don't forget to like my video, share it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. I'll see you again soon. Take it easy.